Hello there, Internet. It's creepy time. Today's episode is Squidward Suicide. We're starting off with a big one. You know, the big 0. Alright, let's do this. I'll read it mostly word for word, mostly, and then I'll also add in my own little interpretation. I just want to start off by saying, if you wanted an answer at the end, prepare to be disappointed. There just isn't one. I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005. My degree in animation. I wasn't paid, of course. Most internships aren't. But it has some perks beyond education. To adults, it may not seem like a big one. It's a kiss and miss time. We go crazy over it. Now, since I work directly with the editors and animators, I got to view the new episodes days before they aired. Days, not weeks, days. Such a lucky motherfucker. I would get right to it without even giving too many unnecessary details. I had recently viewed the SpongeBob movie, and the entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity, so it took them longer to start up the season. But the delay lasted longer for more upsetting reasons. There was a problem with season 4's premiere that sent everyone and everything back for several months. Me and 2 other interns were in the editing room with the lead animators and the sound for the final cut. We received the copy that was supposed to be Fear of the Krabby Patty and gathered round the screen to watch it. Now, given this isn't the final yet, animators often put up a mock title card, sort of an inside joke for us, with phony, oftentimes lewd titles such as How Does Sex Work? Instead of Rockabye Boulevard, when SpongeBob and Patrick adopted a sea scalp. Nothing particularly funny, but work-related chuckles. So when we saw the title card, Squidward Suicide, we didn't think much more than a morbid joke. Wow, these are assholes. Me? Where am I? One of the interns did a small throat laugh. The happy-go-lucky music plays as normal. The story begins Squidward's practicing his clarinet, hitting a few sore notes like normal. We hear that SpongeBob's laughing outside, motherfucker, and Squidward stops yelling at him. Keep it down, he has a concert. SpongeBob seems okay. Goes to see Sandy and Patrick, bottles splash at the screen, and it begins to be Squidward's concert. This is when things begin to, well, kick off. All playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but the sound doesn't. At this point, the sound is synced up with the animation, so yes, that's not very common. But when he stops playing, the sound finishes, as if the skit never happened. There's a slight murmuring in the crowd before they begin to boo him. That's because he's terrible, not because it's a creepypasta. Not normal cartoon booing that is common to the show. A very, very clear here malice in it. Squidward is in full frame and looks visibly afraid. No shit, dude, you're getting booed off the stage. The shot goes to the crowd with SpongeBob in central frame, and he too is boring. That is very much unlike him, but you know, petrol bomb his house. That is the oddest thing though. Why is everyone's eyes hyper-realistic? Very detailed, so heads up, thumbs up to the animators. Clearly not shots of real people's eyes, but something a little more real than CGI. The pupils are red. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused. But since these weren't the writers, we didn't question its appeal to children yet. The shot goes on to Squidward sitting on the edge of his bed looking very formal. The view outside of his porto window is nice, so it isn't very long after the concert. The unsettling part is the point where there's no sound, literally no sound. Not even the feedback from the speakers in the room, as if the speakers were turned off, even though the status showed they were working perfectly. He just sat there blinking in silence for about 30 seconds, and then started to sob softly, putting his tentacles over his eyes, and cried quietly for a few minutes. All the while, a sound in the background very slowly growing from nothing to barely audible. It sounded like a slight breeze through a forest. So Slenderman isn't in this one, right? So don't worry. Don't worry. Anyway, this is quite a lot of detail. So basically, he's sitting on his bed. He's crying for about a few minutes. But then he looks in the camera for about another 2-3 minutes with no sound. Then really effed up things happen. Fucked up things happen. Not like kids can watch this all day. Yeah, so lots of fucked up things happen. You got apparently pictures of dead babies. There was a crime tape. There was shadow photographer, death, loads of mortified, and it was hoping it was just a sick joke. The guy thought, but it really wasn't. So the show later progresses to see Squidward point a gun towards his head and pull the trigger. Something I would have done a few years ago if SpongeBob was my neighbour. But anyway, it's dark, it's depressing, it attacks your childhood, and that's what makes Squidward Suicide such a great creepypasta. Although, if you're just new to creepypastas, these aren't real, don't believe in them, bloody bloody blah. And if you already know creepypastas, I'm sorry for wasting your time, but anyway, my voice is awesome. I hope. That sounds a bit like a dickhead move, but don't worry about it. Next week's episode will be, we'll probably actually release it tomorrow, I don't really know, depends. But it will be the Rugrats theory, followed by, I think we should do a gaming segment, so I was going to go with the Tails Dolcars, Sonic EXE, or Mario JPEG. Let me know what you think, comments, suggestions, improvements on the show. This is only the first episode. Also, just, well, be awesome, internet, and keep it awesome. Awesome. Anyway, if you like, yeah, share, like, bullshit. Anyway, have fun, internet, and thank you for watching.